done. Dom, how are we feeling today?
You've come to me in this time of need when my
Yeah.
team beat the shit out of yours.
Oh,
Ah,
my time of need.
ah.
We talked about this. We hated this game,
No, I hate this
and
game.
there were
But
no losing positions on this game.
yeah, I had to talk my shit real quick. No, we're
That's
we're
fair.
both
I'll give you
we're
that.
both fairly satisfied with the outcome because as of about
Mm-hmm.
5:15 today, John Harbaugh was relieved of duty. So you got the
Mm-hmm.
result you were looking for. My team has one more game left this season, and then maybe I will still get the result that I'm looking for. Um,
That's fair. I will say I do in most cases I would have been more pissed off about that game,
mhm.
despite, already knowing, yeah, this team's not good enough anyway, but you talk yourself into shit and it's the Steelers, whatever. But that was an awesome football game.
So good. Such a
It
good game.
didn't start like it was going to be,
Yeah.
especially once Kyle Hamilton went down. You and I were talking, and I was just like, it's going to be whatever. But
I mean,
that was an awesome game.
if somebody was reading our messages, they would think that we were actually insane.
Yes. Because we were both actively rooting against our teams during all that, too.
I wouldn't say actively. I just wanted to.
Or we both were just like, congrats. The amount of times we said, congrats on the division to each other in that game.
I literally
And
said
then
it to you
things kept happening.
right before Tyler Group's kick, and
Yeah.
then I kept waiting for my phone to like update the final score before the kick happened because I would always get the notification like,
Oh,
a
were you
second
not
early.
actually watching that game?
I was watching the game. I'm just a half a second
Oh,
behind. Or
gotcha,
like
gotcha, gotcha.
I'm like
Oh, I see what you're doing.
15
You're
seconds.
doing the checkup on ESPN
So no, I get
to get back to
CBS
speed.
Sports,
Or
and
whatever, yeah.
I never got the message, and I was like, what the hell? And then like I'm watching the kick get missed, and I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
what are
Unbelievable football game.
just unbelievable, start to
And
finish.
for
Just
all the people that were talking shit about why is the Steelers Ravens game, the Sunday night game, should be Seahawks Niners. That's why.
that is why when it goes on
Those
the mix, things are a
doesn't
little bit more
matter.
intense.
Well, not even that, but just if you have the chance to have Steelers Ravens in a game that means anything at all,
Fair,
those games
do
are
it.
always weird. But yeah, no, I was legitimately more pissed about 3 weeks ago. That game, I
Hmm.
was. That one took me 2 days to get over. This one, it happened, it ended, and I was just like, it kind of sucked. But
Hmm.
also, that was a fun 3 hours of football.
It was most fun I've probably had watching a Steelers game all season.
Yes, honestly, and most fun I've had watching a Ravens game all year. Easily.
Ridiculous. Took
Yeah,
18 weeks, but we got there.
incredible. Yeah. All right, we'll talk more about that game in a little bit here. But let's get into the other Week 18 games here. Starting
Yeah,
with 4 o'clock on Saturday in a game that ultimately meant nothing.
nothing.
I'm just talking about
Yeah,
it because we picked it more than anything.
yeah. I mean, that game was interesting because both teams looked like they didn't want to win that game. It was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of weird watching it. The Panthers had a lot of great drives. They just struggled to finish, and
Mm-hmm.
Tampa just struggled as a whole. So just kind of watching that culmination happen, and the Panthers drive down the field late in the fourth twice, and just not be able to score the touchdown. They're just making some bad decisions, and part of that's just a little bit of sloppy play calling because their defense was getting the job done. That wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
problem. It was everything else. I'm curious to see how they're going to play the Rams next week and how that's going to ultimately figure into what's going on. I do think the Rams do have a little bit of revenge here at play
Oh
in
yeah,
that
yeah,
game,
yeah.
but again, we'll talk about that in a different episode. But
Yeah. I
for
I was gonna
this,
say like watching that Bucks Panthers game, uh, really just made me go, oh, as long as the Seahawks win tonight, the Rams are gonna try
oh,
tomorrow,
and they did. The Rams
and
tried.
they did. They did,
I
definitely.
was
Like that.
worried for like that
For the
much.
first, quarter of that game? Yeah, it was weird. Weird start. They came out slow again, but then they kind of dropped the hammer on them. But yeah, it
Hmm.
was definitely watching that game, you kind of realized, oh, yeah, the 5 seed means something here,
It does.
for
It
sure.
definitely does, and
The
that's why.
difference
But
of
going
whoever
to
wins this
Philly,
game or having
yeah.
to go to Philadelphia means a lot here,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that
So
was my biggest takeaway. And again, Bucks win. Appreciate that in terms of our little pick game there.
yeah, after that game, I quickly did the math, and I was like, oh, already lost. That's cool.
Yeah, doing yeah,
Regardless of
that was a little
yeah,
tough one there.
regardless of anything else that happened that weekend, it was already game over. So congratulations to you.
Appreciate
Um,
that. Oh, I feel like we'll talk about that a little bit more later in the week here because I don't know, we can do a little postseason one, but are we feeling crown or belt?
I didn't get anything last year when I won, so
You did
this
not.
feels wrong.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm the one that hosts these little things here, so I get first dibs on it. Uh, but I'm giving you the option to
It was my
choose.
idea. It was my idea. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
fair enough. But I won.
we'll, we'll we'll discuss it, and
We'll discuss off the air. All right, fair
we'll
enough.
discuss all that.
Because I was
You
going
guys
to
will
come
find
in with
out.
something here right away, but, busy with family here, so I didn't get a chance to actually
Reasonable.
grab anything.
No.
I'll just fake crown for now. But moving on to the Saturday night game there. Seahawks Niners. Just flatly, this Seahawks team is so fucking good. That
Yeah,
defense is
they're
a different breed.
they're really balanced, and that's important,
Mm-hmm.
especially down the stretch in these teams, in these games, especially in this atmosphere of
Mm-hmm.
winning. Um,
And I feel like this bye is really big for them offensively,
mhm,
just because Darnold has struggled for a month now.
mhm,
And just having that week off for him to reset, give him a little bit of break. The defense is going to be fine off of the bye week. He does need a little bit of a reset. However, you got to feel confident in him just playing a clean game.
yeah,
Like the only scary moment was him getting stepped on and putting the ball on the ground. Charbonnet, hell of a job to recover that ball. And then
mhm,
they follow that up with Kenneth Walker converting a 3rd and 17. That just felt like, in the moment, it was like, all right, this game is over. Like, again, finished watching it, but like, that was the final leg of that one.
yeah. Sanford
Niners
never
giving that
really
up.
got going, and
Now, and it's going to be
tough.
tough for them going into this week. I mean, again, we can say all we want about Philly's offense, but that Niners defense having to go to Philly,
Mhm. Tough break.
that's rough.
Playing in
I didn't
Philly,
like
man,
any
it's
of
a
the
different
outcomes.
place.
Again,
Yeah,
once they lost that game, and you have the chance of
getting that 5 seed.
falling down, falling further because of the Rams control it. You
Mhm.
kind of go revenge spot for the Bears or Philly and that roster.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm just gonna get ahead of it now. The Niners pull that off. Just I think I know it's a regular season award. That should win Coach of the Year for Kyle Shanahan if
What if
they're
they
able
would
to
have
pull
won?
off. No, if they win this week, honestly,
Uh,
take that into
uh,
account, please, voters. Honestly, like if you're able to pull that one off, again, I know we've talked shit on Philly all year, but they have no business winning that game.
no, I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
That's about all I got there. And then the other game that ties into the first one, kind of should have gone to that one first here, but Saints, what are we doing? Come on now. Help your boy out, make some money.
I mean, so what it boils down to is the Falcons secondary all season has been able to create mismatches and force turnovers, and going up against a
And
rookie
the pass
quarterback.
rush has been good all year. A very
Yeah, because
underrated pass rush.
yeah, I mean they drafted those two rookies in James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker, and they've truly made a difference up front there, which is
Judon
good
is
to
still down
see.
there, isn't he?
No, I'm pretty sure they cut
No?
you on. Pretty sure.
Did they?
Pretty sure. And I think he went to
There is
Buffalo.
a vet on that team.
No, it was Judon, and they cut him.
Oh, is he in? No, that's right. He's in.
Buffalo. Yep. Okay, that's
Yeah,
what I thought.
he was with Miami. That's what it was.
Oh, it was Miami. Miami cut
I
him
gotta
against
look at that.
Buffalo. I
They
know Judon was
have.
somewhere.
Yeah, he was in Miami. They cut him, and then Buffalo picked him up. I am gonna double check myself on that. Continue with your thoughts here because I know they have a vet pass
Yeah.
rusher.
But yeah, I believe like Tyler Shuck still that showing wasn't anything bad. He just went up against a well-oiled machine in what is the Falcons defense. And the Falcons offense over the course of the last 5, 6 weeks of the year looked a lot more calm with Kirk Cousins at the helm. Whereas with Penix, it was a lot more volatile. It was either big plays or no plays, nothing in between.
Mm.
Whereas Kirk Cousins, you could have that balance of the run game, the pass game, and it operated more smooth. Now, with Penix being out with his ACL injury, I don't know what that timeline's like. If he's going to be ready for the start of regular season, if he's not, who do you have? Because today they reworked Cousins' deal and can basically cut him for nothing. So
Cut him
it's
or move him.
for pennies on the dollar. So
Yeah, it makes him a lot more tradable too. Also, it was
what?
Leonard Floyd.
Leonard. Okay, it doesn't really do much for me.
No, but I had to get that
I
right.
guess. Yeah.
It was
Um.
bothering me.
Yeah. I mean, and then Atlanta, yesterday morning, or no, Saturday. It was
That was
Sunday
last night.
night.
No,
Sunday
Sunday
night.
night. It was
Yeah. Sunday
during
night.
pregame of the Sunday night game. Like
Yeah.
Raheem Morris and our
Terry
GM
Fontenot. Terry Fontenot.
Fontenot. Thank you.
Yeah. A little bit shocking. Especially Fontenot, but
Yeah.
I had a feeling they might let go Raheem. I'm a big Raheem believer. He stems from the Sean McVay tree. He's a brilliant mind, and if Steelers wanted to snag him as their DC, I wouldn't be too upset about it, to be honest. But
Well, I mean, it looks like Shula's probably going to get a job, so he's going to go right back to LA.
maybe not. We'll see.
Probably.
Because nobody's. I haven't seen anything about Shula getting a HC interview yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, he's been talked about as a guy.
He has, but you got to look at the teams who are looking to hire a head coach right now. Titans. Titans are
No, I agree.
Titans are going to hire Matt Nagy. That's almost set in stone at this point.
I keep forgetting about Matt Nagy.
Because the GM in Tennessee. We just hopping into this, or do you want to wait? I can hold my thoughts here.
Let's circle back. Let's circle back to that because that one did throw me off a little bit there. I also wasn't prepared for that. So let's do just a quick little touch up on the actual game from Sunday night. We shared
Yeah,
our
I mean,
feelings. I mean, puts everything in a weird spot, honestly. Like, you might be stuck with Rodgers for another year because he had a lot of life in that game.
I mean,
Not, I don't necessarily mean like in terms of play, but in terms of just his vibe on the field.
for sure.
That didn't,
I mean,
that looked a lot more like Rodgers of 5 years ago.
there's a worse place to be if you give me 43-year-old Rodgers. Because if he's bad, then you set me up for a great 2027 quarterback draft
Right.
class. And if he's good, then he's good. it's in
Yeah.
my opinion, bringing Rodgers back is like a win-win situation. Um, However, yeah, I mean, he played one of his best games of the season on Sunday, and he tends to do that
Hmm.
when the game matters most. So I'm curious to see how he's going to look against Houston this week.
Hmm.
Um,
A
but again,
completely different beast because
yeah,
especially once Kyle Hamilton is out of that game, like that's really what flipped this whole thing on its head. It
yeah,
was Kyle Hamilton gets hurt. Marlon Humphrey
sucks,
doesn't want to tackle
sucks.
and then proceeds to get burned by Adam Thielen and then wants to like make a joke about it
Yeah, it was funny. Good joke.
afterwards. Not the time, dude. Like again, we were all over it at this point, but at the same time, dude, read the room. Cannot wait for him to not be on this team next year. Um, and then it was a little unfortunate because like the last touchdown to Calvin Austin, it was Awuzie slipping and biting
Cut.
on an out route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like I mean he was a good 8 yards away from him and slipped. I mean he was one of the last ones that was trying to do anything in that game defensively. So it just happened in the worst possible time for him, and I felt very bad about that. I said it out loud during that game. I was like, "Oh no, it was Awuzie. He was playing well. I don't want to be mad at him." Um, that one hurt, and then honestly, Tyler Loop too. I feel for the kid.
Yeah, I mean, he's
I
a
really
young
do.
kid
He's a
in a
rookie.
tough situation, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, and like just scrolling through Ravens Twitter immediately
Pop,
after that game, there was a lot of instant reactions crushing the kid.
which is
And then that,
unnecessary.
but all of the same accounts immediately walked that all back the second the videos came out about him staying for the media. And he did 7.5, 8 minutes of
Hmm.
taking questions. And he stood there and he wore it. And all the same people that wanted to crush him for it were like, there's been vets this year that have dodged the media. This kid who it really wasn't his fault. I mean, the game was lost in other phases of the game. It just happened to come down to him. It's usually what happens with kickers.
Hmm.
And to stand there and take his lumps and have the stones to take questions and respond and just and be there showed me a lot about him. He'll be better. Nobody was happier about that missed kick than Chris Boswell, though, at the same time,
Yeah,
because on the flip side, same thing's happening there. But I did just want to give my props to Loop there, because it's
yeah,
a tough gig for him in general. I mean, you're a rookie kicker, you're on a team with a ton of expectations. You're taking over, trash person, but arguably one of the best kickers of the last quarter century, kind of thing. Like, I'll defend him. I'll be on his side as much as possible for that, and hopefully that's not something that gets in his head. And then it was the usual suspects making plays. Lamar looked like Lamar, and especially in that fourth quarter. The
hmm
first touchdown to Flowers, I texted you. I was like, that was insane. He baited Highsmith into that. Got two guys to run into each other, and then Flowers gets free. Todd Monken with one hell of a play call on the third down, the 3rd and 1 for the second touchdown to Flowers, and then the 4th and 7 pass to Likely. I mean, it's just guys that I really hope, well, in Likely's case, really hope come back next year. But again, Lamar did everything he could, and I wasn't as dialed in today to the national media, but anybody that was trying to knock that, do better. Watch the football game.
Yeah, I mean, on the Ravens side, obviously you said everything that needed to be said.
Yeah,
Um, I definitely feel for Tyler Lue. A lot of Pittsburgh fans gifted $26.24 to charity in his name over the
good.
past 2 days, and just a
Classic
lot of
fan bases.
yeah, a lot of good things coming out of that at bare minimum. But on top of all of that, uh, just has to keep his head high and know that there's more to this than that, and he'll come outside better
Mm.
for it. And then on the flip side, the Steelers side of the football, there was a lot of good in that game for them that I wasn't expecting there to be. One, their pass rush is just disgusting. That front seven wreaks havoc
Oh yeah, they were
on
going
everybody.
five up on that on the front there and just
They mhm.
causing chaos.
Cam Hayward is 36-year-old, but he plays like he's 25, and
He
it
showed
doesn't
out for
make any
that game.
sense.
Yeah.
Him, Keanu Benton had the All-Pro center Tyler Linderbaum in hell for
Yeah.
60 minutes of that game. He was getting bull rushed, bullied, and just couldn't keep his wits about him. There's just not much to say with that.
Yeah, and I have defended Linderbaum a lot this year.
The
And he was not having fun. Yeah, Cam Hayward, that was the best player on the field for the Steelers.
by far, by
Yeah,
far.
on either side of the ball. Either side of the ball. Like, he had one hell of a game. He was all over the place.
Yeah.
But,
And then, I mean, the real star on offense, however, outside of Rodgers, obviously, is that Steelers offensive line, man. They are making Rodgers' job 10 times easier. And that was probably the biggest question mark coming into the season. And as the season went on, they got more and more comfortable with each other and just have played unbelievable football together. And that's despite losing left tackle Broderick Jones midway through the season. And he was really coming into it when he got hurt. And we've gone through two or three other guys since then. And now we have Dylan Cook, who's an undrafted free agent that we signed in the offseason, who is just doing his job and looking good doing it. So respect to this team, respect to that offensive line for getting it done. But Rodgers, man, he is dialed in.
I was going to say, yeah, especially, because you brought up the O-line there. It's, that's where you have the value of Arthur Smith, and even at 42 years old, Aaron Rodgers is, Rodgers pre-play, setting guys up. Arthur Smith, who's been good with offensive line, and obviously, it's easier when you have Derrick Henry on your team like he did
Yeah.
in Tennessee, but that combo, you really saw it. Obviously, like the absolute peak of it between those two, and a non-existent pass rush that the Ravens have had all year.
Yeah.
And they played their best game. They took advantage of it. I'm not knocking them for it because it was this Ravens defense. I'm just saying, there's a weakness there, and they took advantage of that for sure.
Yeah.
So, but all in
Despite,
all,
yeah,
great game. Congrats to you guys. I'll let
I
you
guess.
flex a little bit, even though didn't really care, because, like we said, it finished with the best news of the week. John Harbaugh and the Ravens have parted ways.
Mm-hmm. That,
I did see some reporting on this that it was a long process to do it. However, when they officially pulled the trigger, that happened very quickly.
Hmm.
Um, where staff was very unaware, kind of thing, or I forget if it was they were very confused by it, and or they knew before Harbaugh knew, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, did see a good report here. Sorry, I should have had this ready to go. I just want to find it real quick. It's a nice little three-parter here. Here we go. Um, that there is some chatter out there that says Steve Bisciotti reacted unfavorably to the two home losses to the Bengals and Steelers, which resulted in some dialogue that eventually was, quote, if we don't go on some kind of dramatic run, we have to evaluate where we're going. After the loss to New England, he was very dismayed with how things panned out in the fourth quarter. Quote, this was not a knee-jerk reaction to losing to Pittsburgh, sources say. Quote,
Hmm.
this was something that was being evaluated all throughout December. The loss to the Steelers just hastened the decision-making process, particularly since coaches around the league were also getting fired and teams were reaching out about Monken. The Ravens wanted to be fair to Harbaugh and Monken. So,
Okay. So how I take that
again,
as
this
then is that Monken's also was what happens.
he was going to be the first casualty, and you kind of saw it coming because the um it wasn't Diana Rossini. Josina Anderson was tweeting about expecting changes in the coaching staff at the coordinator level.
Yeah,
At
I
the
saw
same time,
that.
she was talking about that. Then there were the reports coming out about Clemson reaching out to Monken, other colleges reaching out to Monken, and requesting interviews. And then he was getting it was being requested. He was being requested for head coaching interviews, much like last year and all season. This is where I was critical of Harbaugh, was him coming out in press conferences and defending Zach Orr unabashedly and throwing shade at Monken throughout the
Hmm.
season. And then the after the Patriots game, like those two, I think by the end of it did not like each other. Because after the Patriots game, it was, Harbaugh was asked about Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter. And he said, looking back, I would make sure he's out there and try to deflect a little bit and put some blame on Monken. And then Monken was asked about it, and he said, you're going to have to talk to John about that. Like, those two were not on the same page.
Yeah.
Um, there's that. And then Ian Rappaport reported that it came down to, which is kind of what I was saying too, is that this team who was kind of over the Harbaugh experience, where he stated or he reported that Lamar did not explicitly go to ownership and say it's me or him, but there was a very real disconnect, or reported that they were not on the same page and that there were other players that either would not come back if Harbaugh was still the coach or would not play for Harbaugh again,
Hmm.
i.e., players saying, get me out of here if we're going to bring back Harbaugh.
Interesting.
And then that also fell to the Todd Monken Harbaugh disconnect, and then Zach Orr caught a couple strays in all of that too. Um, yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess, but it needed to happen, and he's Harbaugh is probably going to get hired by somebody else, probably fairly quickly. The Giant, like there was the
Hmm.
report about the Giants moving him to the top of their board right away. He's going to, and when I send it to you, like Kyle Brandt said it best. Just because he, the guy you fired is going to get a job right away doesn't mean it wasn't time to move on. You know, Harbaugh did get us a Super Bowl. I'll be happy about that. He was here for 17 years. It was just over, and it just ended poorly, unfortunately. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah, not a lot you can do there. Um, in
Yeah.
other news, before we get to other things,
Hmm.
because obviously Harbaugh was the most recent one and the biggest name let go, and like we
Right.
mentioned previously, Raheem Morris was the first name let go Black Monday. Following that, we had Pete, Kevin Stefanski, and
Gannon.
Gannon. Yes, I knew there was
Yeah,
another one.
Gannon was one that Gannon and Pete Carroll, we were both like, we talked about the other day. Like, that
Mhm.
was inevitable. Those
No.
those were definitely going to happen. We There was some steam coming in on Kevin Stefanski getting let go. Um, Again, kind of the same thing as Harbaugh, but on a smaller scale, where you just kind of go, "That's a good coach," but it just, he's got nothing to work with there. Andrew Barry's trying to save face.
Mhm. I think
It's
Stefanski
it is what it is.
needed to go, needed to get out for his own sake.
Yeah, I think he kind of wanted out at that point too,
Hmm. I agree.
because he's just kind of wasting away there.
Mm. I mean, even if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he'll very quickly get a decent coordinator
I
job
mean,
somewhere.
if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he's going to be in Philadelphia
Gross.
probably before the Super Bowl. If we're going to be honest, like, I mean,
No.
the second the Eagles lose, they're firing Petula, and Kevin
Yeah.
Stefanski is going to have that job waiting for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Very fair.
No, which now brings us to right now we have 7 jobs available.
Hmm.
I'll do this real quick. Do you think there's going to be any more?
Yes, I do.
How many more do you think there are going to be?
At least one,
At least one.
and we should know that.
Yeah, you're on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you're saying the Bucks.
I am saying the Bucks. I'm
That's coming
90%
available.
sure Bowles is leaving, and today kind of confirmed it a little bit more when Schefter, I believe it was Schefter, reported that Harbaugh's agent reported 7 teams had already reached out to him, meaning
Mhm.
that at least one of those teams still has a head coach with them. The feeling being that that is Tampa Bay. I could be wrong, could be
Right.
somebody else, but that's the one that makes the most sense to me. Because I feel
That's
in
fair.
order for Harbaugh to take another job, he doesn't want to restart. He doesn't want to reset. He's already done that. He
Mhm.
wants something already
Well, not
kind of
really.
set.
Actually, he actually hasn't, because the one time he was about to lose his job, he said, "Joe Flacco, sit down. Lamar, come play," and that gave him another 8 years.
Well, that's what I'm meaning, though. He's found the young
Yeah.
quarterback, developed the young quarterback, splits everything up. That's what I was inferring.
Mm.
Not starting from the bottom completely. But that's kind of why I feel it's the Bucks. Kind of suits that need. Bucks haven't officially met with Todd Bowles as of today, which is weird. So Tampa Bay's still doing its process of looking at potential options and then weighing if it's worth it to let Bowles go and pursue one of said options. I do believe they might potentially be waiting for Tomlin to decide his future before doing it. I stated that last week.
Yeah.
I still think it's a possibility. However, with Harbaugh becoming available, it might change their minds to let go Bulls earlier to pursue him, or at least start that process.
Yeah, knowing you can get a guy
Yeah,
that has some
which
accolades under his belt, kind of thing.
which I think is what they're looking
Yeah, no, I
for.
I don't disagree with it. Honestly, I would be 60-40 on 60% chance he's he stays and they
Mm.
just play the injury card on that and run it
Hmm.
back. But I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled the trigger on it. I am still on Mike McDaniel is gone.
They doubled down on him yesterday.
What, because he said he was going to be involved in the GM search?
The president doubled down on him. It wasn't just him.
I
They
still don't totally buy it. Honestly,
I
they're a hasty bunch, and just because the president says it, owner, fucking whatever his name is, I wouldn't be shocked if he pulled the trigger on that. Like that's the one that I'm on in terms of non-playoff teams. Like that would be the one that I'm still
Mhm.
that I would expect to be an open job before Tampa Bay. But those would be the two that I would look at. For teams that haven't done it yet, those are the two that I'm looking at. Now, come the playoffs, I mean, you and I are both on Tomlin is not going to be in Pittsburgh starting next year. I think unless he gets to it doesn't have to win it, but if he gets to the Super Bowl, I
Mhm.
think there's a chance that he changes his mind and goes, damn, this is something we are pretty close. And then Rodgers comes back, Tomlin comes back. They try to run it back one more year, kind of thing, and then it's officially over. But anything short of that, I think there's no way he comes back,
I
especially now with some jobs that are available,
I
and
think
then
if
a
he
couple others that could be available.
I think if he loses on Monday next week, the chance is 100% that he's not back
Oh,
because
for sure. That news is coming
he's
out. That game will be over at 11 o'clock. The news will be out by 2 in the morning.
no, I think it'll be at least the morning of the next day, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
even
just
still, I
losing
think that that's how quickly that could happen.
yeah, losing seven straight playoff games is a really, really bad look.
Yeah,
Especially
and
when
again in Pittsburgh, it's a different. You guys have different standards. I mean, we have different standards. Both of us, both of our teams,
Mhm.
our franchises. There are the standards are different for us than they are for Cincinnati and Vegas, and you go through the list of teams. Like Jacksonville would kill to be a perennial playoff team.
Yeah, yeah, but
Not winning playoff games doesn't mean as much there.
yeah, and then you look at their history, and the few times they have made the playoffs, they did make a run, or at least won a game,
Mm.
or had a close game against the Chargers. And no, they came back to beat
They
the
beat the
Chargers in
Chargers
that
that
one.
year,
Yeah,
but even still, but yeah, I mean, again, like
that's
what
what I'm
I'm just
saying.
saying is like for the teams that can go and you have those freak years. Like I mean, the Jags made an AFC Championship game in the last decade. I mean, they have more playoff wins than the Steelers in the last decade.
They have more playoff
That
wins
is
than the
true.
Ravens in the last decade.
That's not true.
How many wins do you think you have?
In the last decade,
Yeah, because what you guys didn't win one last year,
maybe we did. Well,
really?
first round. Yeah,
Hmm.
beat the Texans.
No, they didn't. Texans
Was
lost
it
to
the
the Chiefs in
Texans?
the second round last year.
Who did we beat in the first round? Well, we beat somebody to get to
That's
Buffalo.
fair.
I forget who it was. I think we have four, maybe five. Jags have
Okay,
three
since
since
2014, you are five and
yeah,
seven.
yeah. Jags are probably what 3-1, 3-2, 3-2 probably. They probably have a winning record, but they've made the playoffs twice.
Mm-mm. Yeah, they have 3 wins.
Yeah. They're probably 3-2.
Probably.
Yeah. Which is what I'm saying is, okay, in the last decade, Ravens have made the playoffs 7 times. The Jags have made it twice. Granted, they probably. Does that make them equal in conference championship appearances in the last decade? Possibly. I don't know about that, but okay. The Jags have more conference championship appearances in the last decade, but they've also been to the playoffs. What, 6, 7 less times
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Ravens actually have
than the
4.
Steelers? 4,
Yeah,
4
because I
wins,
was
4-7
it was including 2014.
the
That
year
doesn't
before,
count.
which
Yeah,
is again fair enough. But
yeah,
again,
still.
like you, what I'm saying is with both of our coaches that we are both over, and what they've done
Hmm.
in the last decade, we feel differently about it than what a Jags fan feels about it.
For sure.
Where you're drafting at the top of the first round more than you're not. Your season's over by the trade deadline more than it's not. Like,
Yeah.
it just is what it is, and that's the reality of it. So, and then with that being said, the other one that I think has a chance to become available is Buffalo,
Yeah,
especially if they lose next week.
I'm not as in on that one as you are, but I do get the sentiment.
I, yeah, I feel like it's very much like Harbaugh in Baltimore, where especially this year, if
Yeah,
you're
it's fair.
Sean McDermott and you can't get this team without Kansas City, without Baltimore, in at least 2 an AFC Championship game, like I think
Hmm.
if that's the bare minimum for him to even have a chance of retaining that job,
Yeah.
you have to get to the AFC Championship game, and probably you have to make a Super Bowl.
I agree mostly with that, but also
And it negates
also
some of the what I just did with like different different franchises and how they view things, because the Bills have been the Bills, a
mhm,
joke for the league for so long. You can't do it. You can't keep coming up short with Josh Allen.
yeah.
You
I
know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to get into this too much because I'm going to talk about them in the next episode with our predictions.
Mm.
So it's kind of some sentiment that I'll say, but like I said, I do understand the sentiment behind what you're
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Now, jobs that are available. Got a little list for you here. Just a current list of,
saying.
worst to best job openings. You want me to start at the top, or you want me to go, best to worst or worst to best?
I'm here the worst,
I'll
worst
leave
to
that up to
best,
you. Go
worst to
worst
best.
to best. All
Yeah,
right, gotcha.
start
I
at the
figured,
bottom.
I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
So, 7 openings, starting at the bottom at number 7. I have the Raiders. This is a team that has minimal pieces on that roster. You
Hmm.
don't have a quarterback going into next year. You're about to lose your best defensive player, and well, just best player on this roster right now. And the division is brutal. Sorry, I forgot about that part. And the kicker here, because this is very similar to the team that I have above them, is the Raiders, since they have now moved to Vegas, there is no incentive for them to be good. They're making money. They are profiting off of this team Mark Davis is making all the money he needs to in the world
Hmm.
just by having them in Vegas. They're going to play 8 or 9 games at home in that stadium every year, and they're a big enough brand that people will go to see them. But the bigger kicker is you're in a vacation town and you're going to sell tickets to everybody else's fans.
Yeah, that's fair.
That like they're making money no matter what they do. They can go 4-12 or 4-13 every year, and it means
Yeah,
nothing to them
yeah,
because they are just going to keep going up in value. I think they're like a top 6 valued franchise in the league right now, and they're terrible. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. They have no reason to be good. They can
yeah.
save a little bit of money by hiring a coach cheap, and it means nothing to them.
That's fair. I mean, the biggest incentive in that job right now is the fact that they do own the number one. So you have a lot of way. You,
Mm,
you at least have a path forward. There's nothing. There's clarity there. So you can kind of make the road that you want to travel down, and that's the only positive with being in that position
yeah,
is you
I
get
agree
that
with that.
decision.
But like I
You
said,
can
I don't know if it matters.
it will it'll matter for their long term security. I mean, no matter what, you're in a tough bind with playing in the AFC West.
Yeah,
However, in that same realm, I don't think the Broncos have the same success as they did this year as they do next year. So it's just like one of those things. The AFC West
true.
tends to
To be fair,
balance
we did
itself.
say that. We said that going into this year. We were
Fair.
both dead wrong on the Broncos this year.
Yeah, I was dead wrong on a
Yeah,
couple
and I still
things,
don't know
but
what to make of them.
yeah,
That's
we're,
fair.
we're gonna find out.
Um, yeah. Well, number 6, I have the Cardinals job. Again, pretty much the same as the Raiders here. Difficult division. Don't don't have a quarterback. There's not a lot on that roster. I mean, it's Marv, McBride. Not a lot going on the defense there. I
I'd
mean,
argue
Michael Wilson
otherwise.
showed you a lot.
I
Like,
think I think there's a lot of pieces that could operate well. You have a lot of young guys. You have Darius Robinson as a pass rusher. You have um, they drafted that defensive tackle
yeah,
that
this
is
is also a team
Walter
that
Nolan.
had 35 hung up on them pretty consistently.
I'm not. I said pieces. I didn't say it was complete.
That's fair.
But you have a lot of
Fair
young
enough.
guys who, if developed properly, and you add to it, bring in some free agents to really fill up those holes, they do have those pieces to compete if you can figure it out. It's gonna be maybe 2 years to really get there, but I think it's a quicker turnaround than that in Las Vegas. That's for sure.
That's fair. I also just feel like the other little notch or the other piece of it that like kind of puts it ahead of Vegas is it's a pretty quiet market. It's a soft market. It's a bunch of retirees and transplants in Phoenix where you're not getting you can kind of hide in Arizona.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Gannon hid there for 3 years, so never really
Exactly.
showed much for it. Um,
And the fact that he got 3 years there is insanity.
yeah, and he's gonna get not a head coach, but he'll get a DC job somewhere because he's at
I mean,
least
he'll get a
smart.
decent job, probably.
Yeah, he should. He's still
Yeah.
a good coach in that realm. Um, yeah, it makes sense. I'd probably put it there as well at this moment. Well,
Fair enough.
man, I think I know what the next one is. So I put it pretty even with this and the
Ooh.
next one.
Yeah, I don't think you do know what's next.
then you have that team way too high up. Give me number five.
I think I can make. I got the Browns at 5.
That's who I would put at five. That was who I
Oh,
was talking
okay.
about.
I
Okay,
I was thinking you were gonna
perfect.
go different realm.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
my thing with the Browns is okay. You have one side of the ball that's figured out. That defense is still good, and there's young pieces on that defense.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, that like they're it's not the Steelers that is vet riddled through and through.
Hmm.
Um, you do have a good blend of young and old on that Browns defense. The O line is very good. You have some skill position pieces that are very nice. Fannin,
The O
Njoku,
line is not
Judy.
good. The O line is not good.
I think okay. I am
The
not
O
gonna
line hasn't been
crush
good
the O
in
line.
like 5 years. It's fine, but I wouldn't call it good. I would call it fine at best.
I would
Serviceable,
rather have
maybe.
that O line than my O line.
I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't call their O
I
line
mean,
good, is what I'm meaning.
fair enough. Um, I mean, Judkins is obviously going to miss a fair amount of time going into next year, but
They have a lot of young
hopefully he
running
comes back
backs. They
healthy, kind of thing.
because they drafted three last year. They drafted Judkins, they drafted
Mm.
Dylan Sampson in like the fourth round, and then they brought in Raheem Sanders as an undrafted free agent, and they all got a lot of playing time. I mean, especially Sanders after Quinshawn went down. They're gonna be fine at running
Judkins
back.
went in.
Oh yeah, Judkins.
Mm.
Yeah, after Judkins went down, Sanders got a ton of playing time.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, that's yeah. No, I was.
yeah, they're gonna be fine there.
Yeah, again, the only issue is you don't have a quarterback, much like many teams don't.
You don't. You also
But the
don't have
weird little
salary
kicker
cap.
on this, that's fair.
Yeah,
I think they have some stuff that they can work around, though. I'd have to double check it, but I feel like
probably.
I, from what I remember, there is ways for them to create some salary cap room.
Yeah, because going
Um,
into the off season, I read that they're sitting at 75 million under, well, over the cap.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
now that will. I mean, again, Deshaun Watson is part of that. There is, and I
Sean
think,
Watson is that.
yeah, and I have to double check how that contract where we're at with that because
He still has
I
two
mean it's not
years.
going to be cheap. Yeah, but I think there was like no way for them to do it this year. But I think
Mm-hmm.
it's if they or this past year, but I think this year it gets a lot easier for them to do that and kick some of that down the road to spread some of that out. There's a few other pieces I think that they can kind of move off of
Mm-hmm.
getting into that will put them into good position. But the other part of the Browns is Barry kind of needs this next head coach to work. He can't keep surviving
I'm
head coaches.
surprised. I'm so shocked.
Yeah, this one feels like he desperately needs it to work kind of thing. So whoever he does go after
Okay, so
is going to be in a good spot kind of thing.
over the
You would
cap has them.
assume he's going to make a good hit, a good
Over the
hire. Sorry.
cap has them at about 17 million over the cap.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
So it's definitely workable.
Yeah.
I've seen the worst situations get under the cap. Also, is there an official projected number for what the or an official number for the salary cap for next year yet?
This has a
That's the other part of
projected
it.
at
These are projections, and
this has it projected at 295. So
okay,
it's like 10 million more
which
than
is
this year.
probably a fair number to project it. But like, I mean, it's been like that for the last like 5 years. The projected numbers come out,
Hmm.
and then when the NFL officially puts their number out, it's been higher
Yeah,
every year.
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what
Like nobody can
comes
get a
to
read
fruition.
on how quickly that's growing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Chargers
Um,
have holy shit.
over or
To work with. They're under 100 million of the cap.
yeah, I mean they're paying Herbert, Mack,
They're not paying Mac anymore. Mac's not on
and
that team.
Derwin James.
I don't think Mac's on that team anymore.
Khalil Mack?
I don't think he is.
He's not. I thought he had another year left on that deal.
I could be wrong, but I
I didn't think
he's
he was a free agent. I thought they had him another
no.
year for some
Okay,
reason.
no,
I could
no,
be
yeah, okay.
wrong, but
No, I am wrong. He's according to Google, he's still on the team.
well, yeah, that's Google, but that's
No,
not. Google
no, I mean
doesn't project.
he's still there. He just doesn't really play like at all.
Yeah, I think he was dealing a little bit. No, wait. Are you sure about that?
About what?
That's a
And
separate conversation that we're gonna have after this. I'll dig into that. But anyway, they're only paying a couple guys, and then it's a lot of like I don't Rashawn or not Rashawn. Um, yeah, Slater,
yeah, he got a new contract.
but I don't think it's kicked in yet.
No, probably
I
not.
don't
And
think.
Khalil
I
Mack
think they paid him
was,
early.
and this is why I thought they got rid of him. They only signed him back. He was a free agent. They signed him back for 1 year, 18 million. So they don't know him nothing.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, I wasn't. I thought he had another year left with
Mm-mm.
them, so maybe that's what it was. All right, but anyway, moving on.
Sidebar. Yeah.
Number 4, I have the Titans.
Forgot. So
You have your
Titans are
QB.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you have your QB. You have some draft capital. It's a soft market. And let's be honest, like again, the Jags look good this year. The Colts were looking good until they weren't and everything went to shit there. And then the Texans, that defense is great, but like it's still the AFC South.
Yeah, it's a very volatile area. Anything can happen. So give it give them a few
Yeah, and
years
you
to really let
definitely
things
need to
go.
do work on the secondary there, and you definitely need to do some work in terms of skill position players,
Mm-hmm.
especially on the perimeter. Calvin Ridley is not cutting it. DK is not cutting it. Io Manor is not cutting it. Like, you definitely have some work to do there. But on the bright side, when it comes to the draft, those are positions that the NCAA pumps out pretty quickly. And I think Cam Ward is I mean, with the right coaching and a couple dudes to throw to, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that he could be the best quarterback in the division. We could be having that conversation by the end of next year.
No, I disagree with that one, but that's just my opinion.
I don't think it's I don't think it's impossible by any stretch.
Mm, I mean, nothing's impossible. Is
Because
it
I mean,
probable?
we've
No.
been talking about the Texans offense all year and how like anemic it is at times. I am the biggest Trevor Lawrence supporter that there is. Do I want to believe that he can duplicate what he's done the last what 8-10 weeks this year? Do I want to believe that he can do that for a full season next year? I would love to believe that.
Mhm.
Has he shown me anything to feel confident in saying that? No, he has not.
Yeah, I
So
mean that's fair. I guess I feel a similar way about Cam Ward. Like to me, he hasn't done anything like extra spectacular that's made me feel as though
I think there's
he
a lot
could
of
take that leap.
special that I think there's a lot of special that he doesn't get credit for because it doesn't turn into actual counting stats. He's got guys with stone hands. I mean, you give him a Malachi
Sure.
Lemon. Ooh,
It's
ooh,
Makai.
I
It's
like that
Makai.
a
It's
lot.
Makai.
Somebody
It's
that can
Makai.
just Makai.
It's Makai.
My fault. That's my
Sorry.
fault.
Yeah.
My bad.
Douche.
My bad. My bad. Mr. Lemon. My bad, Lemon Law.
But yeah, I think
My heart was in the right place.
it certainly was. I think he can certainly look better. I think that added weapons can get you there and help you make your job a little bit easier. That also comes with having a more stable O line, comes with having a better running back.
Mm.
But also, I just, to me personally, I didn't see anything that wowed me. It doesn't mean that he can't get there or
Mm.
can't do things. I felt the same way about him in college. I just, yeah, it was tough for me to really love him as a
Yeah,
prospect.
I felt very differently about that. Wow, we're really going to disagree on that one heavily because,
Yeah,
like, I was with you coming out of college. I was like, I don't know what this is going to be, and then
I think here
I
I'll
feel like
say
watching
this.
him, I was like, man, that dude can play. He's just got no help. Like, he is doing everything he can,
No, I
and either guys are driving the ball, he's getting blown up. Even
mhm.
this past week, I mean, they came out hot, and then he ran in for that touchdown and fucked up his shoulder and came out of the game, and then Jacksonville laid the hammer down.
There were definitely points that there's been highs. Every quarterback's going to have games where they look great. Shadur Sanders did. I just think there was points where you're like, oh no, he's a rookie quarterback, and you can see that. And that's it. I think he looked like
Yeah, like some of them they worked out better. Like
yeah,
early on in the year, the one where he's rolling out to his right and then throws all the way back across the field. I'm like, ugh, you don't love
just bad
that,
bad decisions. I think
like
he was
that
the
type of
third.
decision making. But
Yeah, I think he was the third best quarterback in this rookie class that I saw, which is not ideal given that you were the number one overall pick.
what, Shuck and who else?
Dart.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, no, I'll give that. Like that's entirely fair.
Also, why
Again, I
you
do
have
think
one
if
of
he
those teams
had
higher.
100%. Yeah, no, and that's
Yeah.
I mean, there's more to that. I just think that, you know, having despite the chaos that is being a part of the Tennessee Titans over the last,
hmm
I mean, since Vrabel has been gone, or just eliminate Vrabel from the conversation and let's go back 18 years on that. I think you look and you go, like, there's going to be people looking or interviewing for that job that go, this, this is something. There's something here
There definitely
with
could
Cam
be.
Ward.
Sure.
We just he needs help. A
Yeah, I
coach
mean,
that can rein in his poor decisions at times, even though they might work. Stop doing that,
yeah.
um, and drafting drafting well. Like a good draft this year could really change the perception of Cam Ward.
It could. And for their sake, I hope
Um,
they do it.
yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Let's go to number three. I got the Falcons here at three. The only downside to this is you don't know what you're doing at quarterback in this moment,
Yeah.
and run defense is not great. But you got studs everywhere, skill position wise. I mean, Kyle Pitts finally having a year. Drake London is a baller. Bijan is potentially offensive player of the year this year. The way he finished the season.
hmm
Um, O line has been solid, and again, the defense is a tough one because pass rush specifically was good this year. But if they weren't getting pressure, they were getting picked apart. And run defense, not great. And you
Yeah,
have two young pass rushers. And then on top of it, it's a good market. It's a bigger market. It's not a high pressure market. And that division, I mean, Falcons fired their coach and they tied for first.
yeah,
Like, they don't lose to the Jets in October. They win that division.
true.
Or
And if they
whenever they
beat the
play the Jets.
if they
But they
beat the
did lose to the
Panthers
Jets.
once, yeah,
They beat the lowly Jets. They beat the Panthers once. I mean, you got kind of go through that.
it's
One
it's a
win.
game of what ifs. Yeah, it's a big game
They're
of
a
what
playoff
ifs.
team. Yeah. Again, you want to know what the quarterback situation is, but you can make
It is
something
what.
work there
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
with everything else going on that roster.
Yeah, there's a good amount to like there.
Mm-hmm. And then moving on to the next one here, which would have been up until 6 hours ago my
Number one.
favorite job in
Hmm.
this. New York Giants.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like there. I'm in agreement with you. I've agreed with you probably throughout this whole thing. Um, you have a potential franchise quarterback. You have a psychopath at running back. You have a decent offensive line,
You have a
and
psychopath at both of those positions, if we're being real.
fair enough. You have a decent offensive line that needs some fine tuning and can be a above average O line. Where your big strengths are is your front
You need
seven.
another piece on the offensive line.
Sure, but
That's
that's
the thing that
easier.
gets me with the O line. If Andrew Thomas plays, if Andrew Thomas plays, that O line is a top tier unit. When he
But
doesn't play, they have no idea what the hell's going on.
but not only that,
You
Andrew
just need
Thomas has
somebody else to mitigate that.
yeah, Andrew Thomas has also been
Again,
fairly
I'm not saying
inconsistent.
that
I
it's
just
just Andre. Yeah, but it's also just like the difference in when he plays versus when he doesn't play. The wins are different too. Like when he plays, they have a winning record since he's been there. He doesn't play, they are virtually incompetent.
hmm fair enough. But yeah, then on the defense side of the ball, like I said, front seven, you have solid group of pass rushers with everything you have going on there,
Arguably the most talented in the league.
arguably. And then your bigger issues are on your secondary. You don't really have strong corners. You don't really have strong safeties. But you come back to the offensive side of the ball, you have Malik Davis. You have Wandale Robinson, who just went over 1,000 yards. So you have promise and potential there. So you go into this draft cycle
A
and
tight
you're
end
like,
by committee, a bunch of dude. It's like
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
not
You
names, but
Theo,
it feels very like Rams esque, where it's just like you got like four dudes that can make a play for you.
yeah, I mean, your main
Like they're
focus
all gonna
is
finish with
Theo
like
Johnson. Yeah.
300 yards, but like, but yeah, Theo Johnson is good.
Yeah.
Bellinger is it Bellinger?
I don't
Bellinger,
know if
right?
he's still there, but yeah, Bellinger. But regardless, you're
I
going
mean,
into
he
this
caught a
draft
touchdown the other
cycle.
day.
Yeah. You're going into this draft cycle, really just looking at BPA. Who do I got? Who do I want? You could look at Caleb
Mm.
Downs if you wanted. You could look at Norvell Reese. Or if you really wanted to focus on that O line, you can hit up Maui Goa from Miami or Lomu from Utah. You have some options. And if you wanted to add to that skill position, there's 3 top end wide receivers that you can draft from. It's just you have a lot to play around with that I didn't expect them to have going into the season.
And where are they gonna? They're drafting what 3?
6. Five, five.
Oh,
They're
really?
drafting five. They could have
Oh, yeah,
drafted
because
as
they
high as
won.
two.
I keep forgetting about that.
Mhm.
That win is
Detrimental.
what killed it there.
If they would have lost, they would have had the two seed.
Yeah, but even still,
Well, not two seed, the number two pick. Yeah, well, I'm still saying
wait,
they have
time out.
options. If they had the number two pick, you trade back. You pick up insane capital.
Hold on, because now I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
All right, I just need to look at this real quick here for a second. I went to went to ESPN and had the Cardinals at the very bottom, and I was like, they're not drafting one. But basically, well, yeah, never mind now. I was gonna say they could be winners if Dante Moore decides to come out, but
Mm,
never mind. But even picking at five, like they're gonna have options,
they have a ton of options.
and
It's
potentially moving out of that,
yeah, they could do that. They can fall even further down the draft.
maybe, and get an extra first in there somewhere,
No,
something like that. Like,
not at that point. Nobody's gonna come up unless, like, truly you're just jumping maybe two or three teams that you think could take your
yeah,
guy, because you're only losing a first at that point if it's for a quarterback. Any other position, you're like, I'll just wait. In my
yeah,
opinion, in this type of draft,
yeah.
that's
No,
just kind of where I'm at.
yeah, no. That's entirely fair. But what was I saying? Again, yeah. I mean, most of their positions of need are stuff that you can, like, college just pumps out every year, and
Mm-hmm.
you can take a flyer on O lineman early, and then shore up the receiving room and
Yeah,
secondary and day two picks. They're in a great spot, and it's
yeah.
still my wet dream that Mike Tomlin goes to New York.
We'll find out eventually.
I would like. I think that is the one and only job he should take if he does leave Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see.
100%. And then atop of the board here, it's the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, you have a top three NFL quarterback to go to. You have a offense that is primed and ready to go. You have what is the shell of a defense, but you have some pieces with Hamilton and Wiggins on
That
it.
again, 2 years ago was basically the same personnel and was the number one defense in football.
Yeah, they just had a pass rush. They don't have a pass rush at all. So you get a pass rush.
Again, I
That's
mean, it's basically the same dudes. It's essentially the same guys.
but it's a different DC, correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
different new
obviously.
DC.
Yeah,
Mike
yeah, yeah,
McDonald left.
obviously.
McDonald walks out the door, and you go from number one total defense, overall defense. I mean, in every fucking category, they were top three in every defensive metric.
Hmm.
And then he leaves, and they're bottom four in everything.
Yeah, so it's
With
kind of
again,
that.
basically the same exact personnel. So it's as a coach, you got to find a guy that you trust
Hmm.
to be your DC, or you're a defensive guy.
Yeah,
It's
so
one of those two. Like there's no wrong answers there.
yeah, so it's going to kind of come down to that. But it's a job that is literally primed and ready for success, and I think that also kind of makes it scary because if you go in and you don't have immediate success, you're more likely to get cut. It's like one of those things.
Yeah, no, that's fair, but like the other part of it is like one, you have to be for the Ravens to move on from you that quickly.
Hmm.
You have to be so incredibly bad. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
amount
also
of
fair.
you would actively have to try to sabotage this team
Mm-hmm.
for you to get fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's one of those like I don't think it's possible to be that bad.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have a bit of a leash, but just gotta be careful with it.
Yeah. Which brings me to my next point on this. Just very quickly. This is very quick. I won't because we're already well over what we normally do here. But just kind of like looking around at the landscape and names that are getting floated around for different things and everything like that. Specifically with the Ravens here, there were a couple names that I wrote down that I kind of just went, you know, just because it's that job is available. And I would say,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I would have said the same thing if it was the Steelers job that was available. Like I think they get lumped into the same one here. Obviously, Marcus Freeman. I keep bringing that up,
Yeah.
and I know he just said he was staying. I don't think he thought this job, either one of these jobs, was going to be available. I think if the Ravens call, he's listening, and he's at least thinking long and hard about it, because it
And
is not the Raiders calling him. It is not the Cardinals calling him. Those, Notre Dame is a better job than 14 NFL jobs,
more than that,
probably.
it's probably more than. It's
Ravens
probably.
call him or the Steelers call him. He's thinking about that.
Yeah.
Sark.
No. No. I actually hate that. I'm not a big Sark
I
guy,
don't hate
but
it.
interesting.
I
Okay.
do like Sark.
He's fine.
I honestly think, I think he's a very good coach that I think would do better in the NFL than he would in college.
Interesting. Okay.
I think
Fair.
his brain is too big for college. I think he needs to be around like adults, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
But I gotcha. What else do you got?
This is very college coach heavy here.
I see that.
I mean, Belichick's going to be thrown around to a lot of this. I don't love it.
No, I hate it.
I don't
I
love
actually
it on
hate.
my
I
end.
actually. That's
At
the worst
the
for me.
same time, oh yeah, probably. But I just brought it up for the sake of like he's gonna get his name thrown around into these conversations. Also, I think he would have some tough conversations with defensive guys in Baltimore.
Sure.
And that
Sure.
part of it I'm okay with is like Marlon Humphrey is officially gone. Roquan Smith, get your shit together or you're going to be gone too, kind of thing. Like there is that level of it where it's Bill Belichick if he's been humbled enough in college,
Yeah. Fair. I just don't love that fit.
which don't feel great about. Don't really love the circus, but I could I could talk myself into that one. Ryan Day,
He's not leaving LSU. He's just not.
LSU.
Not OSU. I said OSU.
Oh, sorry, I
Yeah,
heard
you're good.
LSU.
No,
Um, is there part of it that you kind of go, what else do I need to prove? He doesn't feel
no.
like a guy that's.
I think it's part of the OSU brand. When you take that job, you stay at that job until you truly feel as if you've done everything. Or that it's also just that is a cushy job. He built that environment to
It
win.
is no 100%, but he does feel like kind of a spiteful guy that because he took shit, but he did win a natty, and then he's gonna take shit again because they lost.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like he could be like, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm out.
I also don't necessarily know if he's a
Again, I
NFL
not
type head
necessarily a
coach.
name that I would get excited about, but
I'm kind of confused where you're getting these
something
names
that
from.
can move the needle.
The only one that I've even remotely heard right now is Freeman. That's it.
again, I'm. This is not so much would I want them
I'm not
as
saying
much
that.
as
I'm
it
saying
is.
where have you been pulled these names out of?
It's kind of the okay. How good is this job?
Yeah, I'm not saying like
Because you take into account like college jobs, like you're working 365 days a year.
sure, but also
You know what I'm saying?
in that same light, it's a lot of these guys work. Because I think being a college coach is much different than being an NFL coach. It's a different mindset, it's a different
No,
attitude.
100%.
So not every college coach transitions into being an NFL coach, even an NFL coordinator. It doesn't always work. So to me, I don't view Sark, I don't view Ryan Day as NFL guys. I see Marcus Freeman as an NFL guy. I can see that the way he's poised and his demeanor. I don't see that with
That's kind
Sark.
of where I'm at with those names, though, too. With those two, is that they don't, they're not, like, I didn't write Nick Saban down. Nick Saban is a college dude. Like, that's a different breed of psycho.
So is Lane Kiffin,
Kurt
yeah.
Signetti is a different breed of psycho. Lane Kiffin is a different, I mean, he's
He's
on
something.
the opposite side of the different breed of psycho kind of thing. If that makes sense there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I could see Ryan Day coaching an NFL team.
I don't think I
But
could.
again, it has to be like there's not as many jobs that are better than in the NFL that are better than Ohio State.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Ryan Day is, I think he's a smart dude. He obviously knows what he's doing with receivers, and I think because of the Ohio State brand and kind of what you're doing there with the amount of NIL money and the amount of stars like that you're getting there, I like he feels like a dude that could handle an NFL locker room.
Let's agree to disagree, and we'll move on to your next
Fair
name.
enough. Well, you're gonna hate the last two then if you didn't like these two. I threw Dan Lanning in this.
And who's the last name?
I,
Did you only
I
go
have
to the
so
college
many
well?
mixed feelings about. I didn't only go to the college. I wrote just a bunch of other names down, just like the coordinators and stuff. But like,
Mm,
I really just wanted to hit the college one because of now that we have the Ravens job available. Just the idea of how
I,
many college jobs is the Ravens job better than? The last one that I wrote down is Dion.
why? Why?
Again, like there is something that
I mean,
I appreciate about like the just the like the governor of everything, like the Jim Harbaugh aspect, where
sure.
I'm not Kevin O'Connell, where I'm coming in to just be an offensive wizard, or Tomlin, that's defensive side. You're just kind of there, and you bring people in to run different sides of the ball that I do appreciate.
Sure. If he did that well, I would agree. He doesn't even do that well. He's a face. That is it. Me and you share very different opinions about Dion. Dion's a loud voice and he has loud opinions. I respect him as a player. I do not respect
Oh,
him as
I
a
agree
coach.
with all of that. I just there there's just something about him.
And
He does feel too big for Colorado.
but he's not even a capable coach in the NCAA level. He was fine with Jackson State. I just don't love him. I don't love him at Colorado. I think he's done. poor things for
I
that
agree.
organization. I just don't. He's made it a brand. That's the best thing he's done for it. He's put their
Hmm.
name kind of on the map because of his Dion, but I don't think he's a coach there. I don't think he fits what they need,
I think he's yeah,
and
no,
I don't think he would
I
do well
don't
in the
think he's
NFL.
doing a great job there, but I think he part of the reason that he hasn't been as good at Colorado is because I don't think he has that much respect for the players. It's not about the players having respect for him. I don't I think he looks at this and tries to like he can't get past like the oh half of these guys aren't playing on Sundays thing.
Sure, and
You know what I'm saying?
if that's the way he wants to go, then he should transition to the NFL. But nobody's going to give him a head coaching job. Nobody. He has nothing to bet on. And I personally, I would hate it if
That's
my team
entirely
did
fair.
that. I would hate it if the
I wouldn't love it
Steelers.
either.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah, if the
I
Steelers
was
did
just
that,
writing names
I'd be
down and
furious.
I was going through potential dudes at the college level that
Hmm.
would pick up the phone if the Ravens called. Again, this is the thought process behind the Ravens and the Steelers.
So
Who who could
here,
either one of these teams call that
here
they
is
go,
my
okay, I'm listening.
here's my pushback to all of that. Personally, other than Marcus Freeman for the obvious reasons, I don't think any of our organizations are calling any of those guys other than Freeman. Period. Because I think, like I said, I think Freeman is the only one that has the poised demeanor to run an NFL team. I think the other ones are
Oh,
purely
by far
college
he is the
guys. I
far and away the best option. If you're going to go with the
yeah,
college dude, that would 100% be the one that I would go with. That would
and
be the one that I want.
and
I
and I
just
think that's just where it ends because
quick
if you
thoughts.
can't get
Quick
him,
thoughts as I was writing making that list.
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think the Ravens would do any of those. I would expect I hope Freeman personally would be my first choice
I
out
just
of
don't,
anybody.
I
College
don't see him
or
leaving.
coordinator.
Yeah, yeah, I just don't see him leaving Notre Dame, even for the Steelers job. To be honest, at least not in this moment.
That's fair. Um aside from that, just quick thoughts. Kubiak,
No,
Stefanski.
maybe.
I like the idea of Stefanski. I
Yeah, I
really
like
do.
that more than Kubiak.
I I'm
I don't
okay
know
with
if
Kubiak.
I
Mainly
am,
because
but
the O line has been so bad and he's good with that.
sure. I just think Stefanski's a better option for you.
That's fair. And if we wanted to go fully take care of the defense here, probably Minter.
I like Mentor. Mentor's probably getting a job.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I think I would lean Minter over Shula, definitely
Most
over
people,
Halfley.
most people are, as of from what I've seen, but neither have gotten a call yet. Some it seems like a lot of these guys, like the Titans, they're looking at previous experience and leaning into that.
Mm.
And the Titans going to go with an offensive minded
Yeah,
coach. That's just
I do
obvious.
think Brian Flores could really work in Baltimore. You because he'll actually get the reins, and I think
I
he's
think
learned a lot. I
his
just
chance.
also think that Brian Flores is not taking a job unless it is Baltimore. Really, just Baltimore. as it stands right now. I think he's smart enough to know that he could have a really short leash anywhere else
Uh,
because of what
here's
happened in Miami.
here's my only last thing I'll say, because I assume that's the last name you have before we head out of here. I think Flores might actually be a good look in Vegas because of Brady. Work together, have a history together, and I think Flores could really help with a lot of discipline within Vegas and do a lot of good for that team. And Flores being able to actually draft a quarterback and develop that quarterback could be beneficial. Plus, having Brady's insight could really do a lot of good. I would actually, that's kind of where I see that. But that's just kind of my opinion, and also some things that I've read up on and heard.
You said Brian Flores in Vegas.
Correct.
I don't think he takes that job. Again, I think
I
he's
don't know,
learned
man.
a lot, but he's scarred.
I don't know,
I
man.
think he
I
wants to
just,
go somewhere that'll definitely give him a leash, kind
I
of thing.
think, I think his top choice at this moment might be Baltimore. I don't know if Baltimore calls him. I think he fits the mold as to what Baltimore's going to be looking for. Somebody with some poise, somebody who has experience, which would make a lot of sense with what they want. I don't think they want a young guy who doesn't have anything. I don't think they want like a Chris Shula. I think they lean more towards maybe a mentor, maybe somebody who's been around a bit longer, a little bit more seasoned. That makes more sense for Baltimore.
Fair enough.
But other than that, that's all I got.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. We'll disagree on the Brian Flores side of this, I think,
I mean, there's a
and
lot that we disagree on.
not for the reason that I don't think he can coach. It's just
Nobody said that.
yeah, I think it's just a weird spot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got anything else?
That is it. I'm exhausted. I've exhausted all my
Hmm?
words, and
Oh,
you're losing me.
losing you again. All right, let's get out of here. Can we get you back for a salute? Nope, he's gone.